What is up, guys? Hope everybody is doing good. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. And welcome to another New York live session here on the channel, guys. We're going to dive into the markets. A lot is going on at the moment. So we need to stay sharp as there's a lot of opportunities. So let's see. I'm going to give everybody a few moments to tune in. Let me just drop the link inside Discord. I'm going to drop the link to Discord in the chat as well. So my voice is not doing good, guys. Whoa. Discord.gg/the Trading Academy. I'm going to drop the Discord link in the live as well. So guys, if you are new to this stream, make sure to join the free Discord server. Link is in the chat. If you're interested in learning the strategy that I'm going to be explaining inside of this live session, guys, make sure to click on the Learn My Strategy link in the description of this video. Now, guys, without further ado, welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. We're going to dive in, see what pairs we can potentially trade. We've seen quite a lot of volume this morning across the board. Gold sold off in towards the downside beautifully from that third touch of the overall high here, as we can very clearly see, and also what we discussed this morning on where did we discuss it? on the daily market outlook. So we can clearly see that once that liquidity got grabbed, that third trend line touch happened, that we saw an overall sell-off of I think just over 200 pips. Now at the moment on gold, the overall demand zone here on the 1 hour time frame remains in control. That's currently pushing the market up higher. So I'll just wait for some more development, because as you guys know, I don't just sell based on a rejection candle like this with my stops above the highs. No, we always wait for confirmation. What we're currently seeing here in regards to candlestick confirmation on gold is kind of like and they call it, I think, like a morning star or an evening star formation, where you get like a rally up and then a strong rally down. This is a candlestick pattern that a lot of traders use to enter the markets. So again, I never really like entering kind of like this. I always want to see, for example, a break here of market structure, then build up some liquidity, take out the liquidity, and then, for example, take the sell-off. I would never sell over here. And in addition to that, obviously demand currently still in control. Like sells that I have taken in the past is, for example, on the high itself, on a liquidity high itself. But then obviously, yeah, stop loss placement will always be a thing. But in this situation, let's say you just use around 100 pip stop loss, you can see you're already nearly 3% up. So for now, I wouldn't be surprised if gold kind of like takes out this high again. We see maybe a little bit more manipulation, and then, for example, we look for a short. So that's kind of like what I'm waiting for. Yeah, guys, a little bit different chart colors. What do you think of the chart colors? Do you like it or not? Otherwise, I'll change it back. Sometimes I just tend to play around. You know how it is, like you wake up and then you're like, I'm feeling some different colors today. You start testing some different colors and then you just kind of get stuck on one. Let me know what you guys think of the chart color. And in the meantime, don't forget to leave a like here on the stream. So yeah, that's kind of like with gold. Gold is not really ready to sell at the moment. I would really prefer for it to kind of like take out this high, or obviously provide us with some more confirmation that the downside actually wants to come into play. Oh, okay, great, guys. Well, I'm glad that you all like the chart color. Yeah, that's super to hear. Going into EURUSD. EURUSD, I was playing around a little bit with it. With this thing, I'm waiting for one more push up. I'm not really shorting it just yet. Obviously, I like the idea of shorting EURUSD, but for now, we have these two imbalanced candles here, which are our refined area of supply. Now, on the 4 hour time frame, we can see that we got somewhat of a fractal break. But again, where is the market reacting, or what is the market reacting to? Nothing really. So these fractal breaks, I don't really trust. Let's see how this 4 hour candle closes. If it closes like this, obviously this is not a good supply zone. So then I'll just let it kind of like, do its thing. Maybe this was just a liquidity grab to kind of like fuel the next leg up, and then the real sell-off would come into play. So I'll be waiting to see a little bit more on what is it on EURUSD. So let's see what it does in this region. For now, I'll just be sitting it out slightly. Obviously here on the 1 hour time frame as well, a break of the overall market structure. Let's see what this overall supply zone here does. If it starts to rally in towards the downside, then maybe I'll look at getting in. But for me, it's just too uncertain, as there's not really a high probability area of supply that we're currently reacting to. Also not like a significant liquidity high. The only thing that it kind of has here is this little high. But for me, that's just not significant enough to start selling off. With us being this close, I would really wait. Like a pair that I would be a little bit more aggressive with, for example, is like an AU. I guess like AU is currently at the 0.5 fib. Just to give you guys some perspective, we're here on the daily fractal, and on the daily time frame we can clearly see that the fractal is bearish between the fractal high and the fractal low. We're at the 0.5 fib. On the 4 hour time frame, we can however see that obviously that the fractals are still bullish, but look here, you have a beautiful amount of descending highs. So I'm very interested in looking at AU. If AU now gives us the 4 hour fractal break, then I'll get into that. Preferably we would want to touch into this supply zone, which took out this little high over here. So it kind of like this overall buy up before the sell down took out this little liquidity high. So for me, it's a strong supply zone. So now either we tap in towards there and I look for the sell, or we just wait for the fractal break and then already get into the sell, because the 50% retracement on the daily, and then next to that, taking out these descending highs here, that could already be enough to kind of like push the market down lower. As these liquidity highs, I often just use them as an area of supply in itself. So now I'm just waiting for the confirmation on AUD USD to give us that short. NZD USD is lagging behind a little bit as opposed to AU. For NZD USD, I would really kind of wait for this high over here to get taken. That would be more ideal. Let's wait for that high to get taken. I'm not really looking to get into any aggressive shorts here, unless obviously the current fractal low starts to break. Then maybe we could start getting in. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of waiting for on that side of things. Let's see. GPUSD was obviously a pair that I was looking at as well and monitoring for those potential short position from, let's see, the daily 0.5 fib, and then next to that, obviously this 4 hour kind of like orange supply zone. I mentioned I was looking for a short inside of there because next to the fact that it was a supply zone, also here on the 1 hour time frame, you had a 1, a 2, and then a third trendline touch here, which is kind of like the ascending channel that I love trading and looking for short from. It played out beautifully on gold, not so on GU. Main reason, obviously, though, that you've been waiting with shorting here is because this was the range before the interest rate decision in the UK. Well, the interest rate decision caused a big spike up on the pound due to the fact that there was a fewer amount of people voting for rate cuts in the United Kingdom. I think it was 5. And rate cuts are bearish, right, for the pound. So the pound pushes up. So somebody, or let's say the big banks, interpreted this news event as bullish for the pound. And the reason is because fewer amounts of people voted for rate cuts than they were anticipating. They were anticipating 8, and I think it was only 5. So they kind of like saw it as bullish for the GBP. And that's why GU pushed up higher. Now, for GU, I'm still very interested in sells because, to be honest, now it's actually just in an even more interesting region at the moment, being this weekly kind of like supply zone. So let's see from this weekly supply zone if we can get that short. Now, all I'm waiting for pretty much, because now here on the daily, we're inside of these 2 wicks, which is kind of like refined supply. On the 4 hour time frame, this is also an area of supply. However, this supply zone here would have been stronger if this final end boss buy before the sell candle would have wicked up, taken out this high, and then sold off, because then you have a liquidation zone. Now there's still some liquidity resting above this high over here. So it's a little bit dangerous to sell at this point in time. That's why I'm mainly also waiting for EURUSD. So what I'll probably do is wait for the high to get taken, because then once that high gets taken, you kind of make a connection with this overall buy before the sell as well. And then look for the overall confirmation for potential selling opportunity. So that's what I have overall for GU. I'm not sure if you guys agree or what you guys think. Let me know in the chat. Check the 1 hour. It did sweep the range. Let's see. yeah, I mean, it could be enough to push the market down lower. Yes, there were some highs here that got swept. It's just my personal preference that I often, more than not, would like that high to get swept. Just because also the dollar index is still lagging from 4-hour demand. So the dollar index did not yet make a connection with the overall sell for the buy up. Just missed it. So it's now given a bullish 4-hour fractal. But let's see how this 4-hour candle closes in 2 hours on the dollar index. I would prefer for it to make one more sell-off, and then we look for a long inside of here. And then this could kind of like be interpreted as manipulation. So that would be ideal. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at on the major dollar pairs, guys. Make sure to leave a like on the stream, please. Always appreciated. And let's dive into some other pairs of interest. For anybody wondering, we were looking at some interesting pairs. No, AUD Swiss was not interesting. GJ, is GJ interesting? Yeah, so GJ has retraced now into that supply zone which I highlighted on Tuesday's stream. So let's see what GJ does inside of here. Obviously the pound is now pushed up. The only thing I really don't like about GJ is obviously there's no manipulation this overall leg down. So we kind of need to see it manipulate itself a little bit in the overall retracement. Now the initial, let's say, manipulation has happened here with this breakdown, taking out some lows and people thinking this was supply to then go short. So that's good. We've now retraced into this supply. Let's keep an eye. Maybe if we take out this high over here, because this high I pretty much interpret as a liquidity high, because right below that overall high, so in this overall push down, there's no liquidity. So more often than not, you will take out the high itself. So I would prefer for that high to get taken, and then for the change of character to happen, to look for a potential short position on that. So that's what I have for GJ. Going into USD JPY, USD JPY has been consolidating, not one of the most interesting pairs at the moment. USD CHF has also been consolidating, also not a very interesting pair at the moment. Euro JPY has been pushing down a bit again, slow. Yeah, I mean, for the rest, it's been a pretty slow week. US 30, I'm looking for longs on those indices. I'm looking for an upside continuation play on this. What I like a lot about the indices, let's dive into NASDAQ. What I like a lot about these indices is, I'm not sure if I discussed this on Tuesday, but what you'll often see are these aggressive sell-offs, and these aggressive sell-offs are very often a sign for potential buying, in my opinion, especially if they happen kind of like in the overall rally phase. So I'm looking for this, just to pretty much break the new all-time high again. So maybe look at some other better opportunities, because this has already been flying since this morning. We have Anan Mohammed. You are going to be banned, my brother. No spamming in the chat. Just really pisses everybody off. You are in timeout for 24 hours. Ciao. So, let's see. Rip Anan, man. Anan got sent to the... sorry for the language. I have to just always check in on the language. Anan has been sent to the gulag. Ciao. Looking at NASDAQ, so let's see, NAS 100. Maybe so this is more clean. Yeah, I mean, NAS 100 is a bloody buy, guys. US 2000. Let's see if that's better. Yeah, US 2000 looks a little bit better. I mean, very beautiful descending highs here that we're looking at. So I'm definitely looking for this to continue up higher and eventually push up into this high over here. So I'll be looking, just to see this overall continue in towards the upside, following the overall order flow. So let's see if there's any opportunities to go long. I would personally be looking at a long position. German 30, let's see what that has done. Flew to the absolute moon. I'm also looking for more longs on this. The thing with US 30 at the moment is it's in its bullish phase, okay? So this is the overall swing structure. You retrace all the way back down into discount, in towards where? In towards this imbalance candle over here. whilst in the process of going towards that imbalance candle. And this is really one of the better setups that you can take. Like what happens here is that you take out all of the ascending lows, so all of the liquidity gets grabbed. We tap in towards this daily area of imbalance, which is your demand zone, causing, and it's like the initiation point of the overall break of structure. And so we have the discount pricing, we have the demand zone, we have the liquidity grabbed. So then you just need to pretty much look for the overall entry model. Now, obviously, after such an overextended move, you kind of like will look for the overall reversal, as you don't expect price forever to fall down. Now, this is the last area of demand, so these are the kind of easy setups that you can just take back up in towards the highs, in my opinion. In my opinion, you should just buy here, because if it invalidates this low, then the whole, let's say, long position is screwed. But yeah, I mean, this is now the impulsive phase, so just continue to look for buys on this thing. And any opportunity or any retracement is just another opportunity to buy. What I have with these kind of things is look for maybe some manipulation to happen, because often it will not retrace all the way back down and give you the perfect setup. So just look for the market to consolidate, mark out the low, mark out the high. If it takes out the high first, then wait for the low to get grabbed. If it takes out the low first, like this, then just look for the change of character and then take that long position. If it does start flying, you can also look at setting a buy stop on the high break, because often with like this German 30 pair or pairs like German 30, they just fly like to the absolute moon once they start breaking highs, right? A good example is down here where you get, let's say, the break of fractal structure. You mark out this as your area of demand, and then you place your limits, and then obviously price never comes back. So that is why I then often say, especially on like indices, just buy the bloody high break and just get into the position, because often with these things they just bloody go. And we have Mr. G's. What are the stripes on your NASDAQ chart, guys? These are the fractal high and the fractal low. This is the indicator that I use for market structure. You can find the link in the description of the video. It's the fractal indicator. With indices, most of the time you cannot wait for a retest because it just goes up immediately. Yes, exactly. Well said. Mr. G's, if you ask one more time, you are officially going to be sent to the gulag. And for anybody who does not know what the gulag is, it means to the quiet zone where you cannot send messages. Let's have a look at platinum. I see there's a question about platinum, XPT, USD. Platinum has been consolidating for quite some time. Area of interest, though, I must say, beautiful amount of ascending lows. Yeah, I mean, okay, Mr. G's is officially banned for the gulag. Dun, 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 dun. So overall, for platinum, it's obviously very consolidative, but it makes a lot of sense to look for long position. I mean, now it should start taking out these descending highs. So yeah, look for longs on the lower time frame. From a daily perspective, daily's now fractal bullish. If you want like an easy setup, then just pretty much trade it like this back towards the high. And then if you want, you can obviously put your stop loss here for like a 1 to 2. And see this kind of like as the new demand zone, because once it breaks out, this here will become the fractal low. So then this stop loss placement makes sense in that regards, because let's say it does fly, you're in, let's say it does retest, then the low of the demand zone should hold. So that's kind of like the overall setup that you should then be taking. Silver. So silver in itself, flew up beautifully from the overall demand zone marked out on Tuesday. What we can see here is obviously from a weekly perspective. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this on Tuesday, but from a weekly perspective, we're obviously inside an area of weekly demand. Then on the daily time frame, we were traced down lower, back down into this area of demand. We used this overall initial low that was made as liquidity, and now we see another daily change of character. So now it should push up higher. So anywhere inside of here, I'm just looking for longs on silver. So yeah, pretty much that. Now it's kind of like a little bit overextended. Took out this range, so I would be looking more for a pullback than for like the continuation play. EURUSD still slow, getting a little bit more of a bearish close, to be honest, in these last final minutes. Yeah, GU a little bit higher. I'll just be waiting on EURUSD as well. Let's see what happens here. I'm just not a big fan of getting in a short position over here. I would really prefer for it to move up higher one more time. So I'll definitely be waiting for now. What about Ripple? Ripple should push up just like crypto does. So BTC, for anybody wondering, is flying up today. Main reason is because Trump announced that cryptocurrencies can be added to 410Ks in the United States, and these are like retirement plans. So that means that like I think $6 or $7 trillion, which is in total inside of those retirement plans, can now be invested in crypto, and that is extremely bullish for crypto. So I'll be looking more for kind of like the longs to eventually take out all of these descending highs. But I mainly just trade spot on crypto, and for example, a pair like XRP, which did something similar to silver, where we took out this internal low, and now it seems to want to push up higher. Once it breaks this fractal high, then definitely. Obviously here you have like the impulsive phase, the market again, and you see it works on crypto as well, guys. The strategy, market retraces exactly towards 0.5 fib, takes out the liquidity low, because in the overall push up in itself there was no liquidity. So here you see the initial reaction to that demand zone, then that low, so the early buyers get stopped, and eventually this low gets taken as well, and now the real rally up should continue. So wait for this fractal high to break and then just get in on the overall push up. And you can trade this stuff, guys, on prop firms. You can trade it with the trading pit as well 24/7. So if you want to trade with the trading pit, you can use this or the link in the description of this video, or let me post it here in the chat. You can click on the link here in the chat, guys. Let's see. So yeah, that's that's crypto. But most of you, I guess, don't trade crypto. But yeah, like I said, you can trade it with with Trading Pit 24/7. Now for the rest, guys, today mainly being patient for euro. Being patient for euro, being patient for GU. These are kind of like my two top picks. Next to that, also gold. I'm also really favoring a gold sell if we push up or make one more drive up higher. And next to that, NZD, USD, and AUD USD are also clean. But NZD USD needs to make a little bit of a push up higher, and yeah, AUD USD, the highest probability sell will obviously come from this area of supply over here. If it comes into there, then just wait for the fire fractal break and straight away execute. That's kind of like the setup that I'm looking for. 1 to 2, just take it like this. And eventually trade these dollar pairs back down to their NFP lows, which are being created on Friday over here, as I believe that there's still a lot of liquidity resting underneath them. So those are the main setups that I'm looking at. Yeah, Solana still pumping since yesterday. Guys, Felipe called it actually inside the mentorship call that we have daily. So yesterday it was his with Rucker. Rucker was hosting one inside the Discord. Yeah, there Felipe gave actually, in Dutch we say a voorzet. It's like a cross, like in football we say, like he gave a cross and then Rucker just headed the ball into the net. So that was good. EuroCAD, Wassel, Resbrook. Yeah, sure, mate. Asking for a while. You ask, your demand is my command. Your demand is my command. Don't think that makes sense, but yeah, EuroCAD you can sell, man. Fine. Supply. It's a strong supply because it took out a massive swing high. So yeah, looks good, man. Sell it, man. Shitting. You can look at this. You can look at this, yeah. Sell it to the equal lows, just quick 1 to 2. Are you currently on any position? No, I am not. Yeah, USD CAD longs. Man, I have so much pain in my back, guys. It's really crazy. poop. Been going to the gym nowadays in the morning, but fuck, it's tough, man. Waking up at bloody 6 o'clock. I'm not the best morning person. Not sure if you guys are. Waking every day up at 6. I know for some of you it may be very late. Maybe some of you wake up at 4 or at 5. What time do you guys wake up at? Like, I used to wake up at like 7:30. Waking up at like 6 is just early stuff, man. What time do you guys wake up? Yeah, no, USD CAD is trading at the 0.5 fib. Daily fractal wise, we're bullish. Only thing I don't like is it has these three very tempting lows. I would have preferred for this low here to take out this low and then shoots up. Sadly, can't always get everything in life. But the 0.5 fib obviously looks good to push the market up higher on the daily. 4 hour time frame wise, fractal bearish. I'm looking, man. Let's see. I would love if we can take out this low and then get like a double 4 hour fractal break. That's when I would really be interested, man. I think I'm waiting for that blue line. We have some people even waking up at 9, man. What a good life. Even at 10. Oof. 5 a.m. 5 a.m. I see quite a lot of 5 a.m.ers. Yeah, 5 a.m. is good to wake up. 10 o'clock is definitely very late. But I mean, if you work night shifts or until very late, then obviously I understand. I guess it all depends on our lifestyle. EURUSD I discussed, man. I would prefer for it just to make one more swipe up. Or I'll just wait for kind of like a double 4 hour fractal break maybe. That would be better in my opinion. Gold also discussed. It's a little bit rangy now. I'll wait for the 4 hour fractal to break. And then I'll get in. Otherwise still some further upside. I kind of discussed that we had like this chart pattern here, like a shooting star or whatever some people want to give it as a name. So a lot of stop losses are above this high, so higher probability would sell after that gets taken out. So yeah. G Swiss, let's have a look at that. Wow, G Swiss, man, that's nice to see. Well, yeah, Swiss is pretty screwed at the moment because the president of Switzerland actually went to the United States to establish a trade deal, but she failed, and that has been causing Swiss weakness across the board. If you look at AUD Swiss, NZD Swiss, they're all pumping, and that's because again she didn't establish a trade deal. So on G Swiss today with the good news on the pound, G Swiss is flying. Now I was looking for a short potentially within this range, but yeah, obviously like shorts only happen once we see bearish confirmation, and now with us coming above this high, yeah, I mean, again, this is just why I love the strategy. Like if I would have sold and put a stop loss here, I would have felt like a big bloody idiot. So I'm happy that I just wait for confirmation. So yeah, I mean, and this is the same. Wait for confirmation before selling. For now, it stopped within this little range that we have here. I'll kind of be keeping an eye on the high of that range, see if that we can take that out, and then maybe look for like a pullback. You're yawning, bro. Not sure what yawning means, Stickman. Clark, thank you. Wake up with the TTA Daily Market Outlook every day. That means a lot. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the market update. Yeah, I mean, patience on EURUSD and GPUSD. I'll share you guys inside Discord when I'm kind of like in those positions myself. So I'll let you know if I see some potential on that. Hey, why GBP pairs are moving in the opposite direction when they cut rates? Because that's bad. Because a bigger amount of people, or let's say a smaller amount of people than expected, were bearish and were voting for rate cuts. So that's actually bullish. So what happened is that only I think it was 5 people voted for a rate cut instead of 8, which was initially anticipated. So we went from 8 to 5, and that is then understood to be bullish. Let's just put it that way. So yeah. That's that, guys. Yeah, God bless you all, guys. Thanks so much. Speak to you guys inside Discord. Make sure to join through the link in the description of this video, or it's pinned here in the chat. And yeah, we'll continue the discussion there. Thanks for joining. Another nice session. And yeah, that's the market update for today, guys. Thank you so much.